From the 22 News Plus studio, this is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of InFocus. I am your host, Patrick Berry. Across the desk from me here in the 22 News Plus studio is Heather Caisse-Roberts. She is the newly installed president and CEO of the Springfield Symphony Orchestra. Heather, thank you so very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
You betcha. This is a new role for you.
It is.
Here we are, fall of 2025. You've got a lot of work ahead of you, but you're not new to the symphony. You've been with the symphony for a few years.
Yeah, I've been with the symphony. I sort of hopped on that bus with Paul back in, I think it was 2021, right after COVID, as we were getting back into it with the musicians and trying to get the
people
live
back in the
music.
seats.
Yep. Started again, get the energy going. I've always been in nonprofit. I've always had this really strong affinity for Springfield and fundraising and development and community building. And Paul knew that, and that I was taking a small sort of hiatus to figure out what was next, and asked if I'd come hop on. And we went from writing a few grants together to now years down the road.
Paul's retired,
Yeah.
and you're in the hot seat.
Yep.
You mentioned very briefly your love of Springfield. How important is the Springfield Symphony Orchestra to really the arts community, the vibrancy, the success of Springfield?
Yeah. So I'm super glad you asked that, and everyone will be sick of hearing this by the time I'm done talking. But it's honestly something that I've been preaching since day one. Having a symphony in Springfield, Massachusetts is vital. It's incredible. It's unique, and it's really special. Having an organization that brings the opportunity to expose adults, children, visitors, everyone, this beautiful, not only live music, but music played by incredible professionals. These musicians have played with Grammy Award-winning artists, have been conducted by Tony winners, whatever it may be. And these are things that make Springfield special. When people are looking at, okay, where am I going to go retire? Or my child's looking at colleges in this city, they want to look around and see what else they have to offer besides the one thing they're looking for. Yep.
Between the symphony, the Springfield museums, what's happening at the Mass Mutual Center, there's
we have the
lot going on.
Thunderbirds. We have the Basketball Hall of Fame. We have these really incredible, special things that make Springfield unique. The Bright Nights, the Pancake Breakfast. And for me, one of my goals with the symphony is to not only bring amazing music, but to remind people how special Springfield is and how incredible it is to live here, and the opportunity that we have to really turn ourselves into a gem in the Commonwealth.
It's funny. One of the things when people ask me about the symphony, what makes it so special? I go, not only to your point, the professional musicians and the quantity of them on a stage at any given performance, but the facility, the building itself. You've probably traveled, you've probably been to other towns, and you've been.
I lived in Paris for years. I mean, I saw live music in some of the most iconic places you can. And
Symphony Hall in downtown Springfield is right up there. It's amazing how beautiful a place it is.
One of my favorite things about a concert night is standing right by the front doors when people walk in and hearing how many individuals are just blown away by the beauty of Symphony Hall. People who have lived there their whole lives and have never walked in there. People who have only ever walked by or on the stairs or had no idea that we have this really incredibly epic and historical building right where we are. And realistically, without a symphony, where do we have with Symphony Hall? So we need to keep it going. We need to keep people in there. We need to keep it alive here.
One of the things that I look at for the Springfield Symphony Orchestra is it's been 80-something years since.
I think we're like 83. I should probably know that more specifically.
But again, it's been around a long time, and it's gone through some changes. And I look at it a little bit as and I've asked this of your predecessor Paul and so forth. Is symphonic orchestral music as popular now as it was 80 years ago? And the answer is always no, right? So how do you make it how do you make it maybe not more popular, but
Yeah.
make it a destination?
So I think what's really interesting about that is everyone's gut reaction is to say no. But I'm going to ask you to take just a quick look. Have you ever watched Bridgerton? Have you ever watched? Okay, fine.
Okay, go a
Well,
little
you
older.
killed that one.
Have you ever watched Bugs Bunny? That's
How
where
about
I learned.
Bugs Bunny? Have you ever watched Bugs Bunny?
Yes.
Okay.
But that's where I learned about it.
But that's what I mean. We are all surrounded by symphonic
Right.
and orchestral music right now, and we just don't realize it. So to say that it's not as popular is probably true, but I think it's just because people don't realize what they're listening to. I think when we look at things that are happening out in the world right now, there are so many pop stars that are completely, Alex Warren being one of them, completely re-performing their pieces with a symphony in the background so
I
that
know.
we're getting these amazing, beautiful voices, but also this live, just breathtaking music arrangement in the background. So there's some work to do there to get people to realize that pieces they have heard and recognize are actual very basic classical music pieces.
And I love the fact that, if you go to the Springfield Symphony's website, you'll get a look at the performances coming up this year.
Yeah, SpringfieldSymphony.org.
There you go. It's a wide array of performances, and so how do you work with the musicians on? Do you get the buy-in?
Yeah.
Like, how does it work? That
So
who comes up with the program? Like you're launching with a Taste of Italy.
Yes. So Taste of Italy, which is so funny. I was actually just speaking with our artistic advisor, Mayan Chen, in the parking lot right before I walked in here, and we were talking about that. And she reminded me that as we were working on the programming last year, that suggestion of the Godfather Suite actually came from multiple musicians in our symphony.
Oh, interesting.
I think one of the things that we've been able to do over the last few years is really engage and build a strong relationship with our musicians. Having the trust in us from them is hugely important so that they know that we're doing everything we can to provide the best experience, not just for our patrons and our donors, but for them as well. These are people who have dedicated their lives to live music, to studying it, to teaching it, to sharing it. And we are lucky to have them, so we want to show it off. Our programming committee is made up of people from our office internally, some of our board members, and from different musician representatives from different parts of the orchestra. So there's a lot of personality. There's a lot of suggestions. There's a lot of throwing it at the wall and being like, okay, can we make this work for us in Springfield?
What a great way to end our first segment. We'll be right back after this commercial break with Heather Caisse-Roberts talking about the Springfield Symphony Orchestra. We'll be right back.
This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry. This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.
Welcome back to this edition of In Focus. Heather Caisse-Roberts from the Springfield Symphony Orchestra is across the desk from me. Good morning again. Thank you for joining me. When we left it, we were talking about where the ideas come from for the music, and we're in the 2020s now. Orchestral music is hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
But how do you make it attractive to today's audiences?
I think there's a few different ways that we're trying to do that. One is really listening to the people who are coming to our shows, really listening to our musicians. A lot of them are playing in other orchestras and in other venues as well. So we get to hear about what's worked for them, what they've experienced, which is nice. And then I think just trying to find ways to connect it back to real life. We've been talking a lot about a video game concert. We've been talking a lot about a movie night. Jaws just celebrated an anniversary. So the Cape Cod Symphony did a whole thing around that this summer because all of that music is orchestral symphonic music. You just don't realize that because you're just paying attention to a shark eating a swimmer.
And the funny, just totally sidetracking, there was something like a documentary that came out early this spring or early summer about Jaws.
Yes.
And it was, here's the movie without the music, and here's the movie. And it totally different movie.
Yeah.
Totally different movie.
Yep.
So the music plays a key
music
role.
plays such a role in so many things. Same thing. We talked about Bugs Bunny before. If you didn't have all of those songs as, he's trying to get Bugs Bunny, Elmer Fudd,
Right.
it's just going to be a boring little weird old man with a gun trying to kill a bunny. But
Right.
this gives it beat and movement and emotion, and it makes you feel something. So for us, that's what we're trying to get our audience to do. We're trying to get them to feel something, whether it's with the Godfather suite at this first opening night concert where people may not even recognize until it starts playing that this was in The Godfather, or to as we move on into this season and have a little bit more of our Gershwin and classics, and you'll recognize a lot of it. And be introduced in a way that will make it feel fresh.
So, as part of the changes that the symphony is going through this year, will you maintain the Holiday Pops concert?
110,000%.
Good.
That's
a huge draw.
Yeah, it's such a tradition for so many people in this area to get dressed up, to go to Symphony Hall on a Saturday afternoon, to sing along, to hear the bells, to look at the decorations and the lights. And it sort of just brings the community together in a way that's much too important for us to miss. We are so lucky this year. We are partnering with Belize and Lexus, and they are going to help create this whole pre-concert experience for our families as they come in. And we just want people to walk in and feel welcome, whether they've been there before or whether they've been there 100 times.
One of the things I noticed the symphony has been doing over the last few years is incorporating earlier shows.
Yes.
So will that continue?
It is. It is continuing. And it's something we talk about all of the time because we get such mixed reviews. Some people are like, I love the 3 o'clock. I love the 4 o'clock. I can bring my family. I'm not driving home at night after. And then some people have the opposite reaction. So we're trying to find the right mix and the right balance to see where it goes. We try to really pay attention to what the type of music is that we're playing in that performance to determine whether it makes more sense as a matinee or an evening concert.
So the 8 performances that are coming up, I think it's 8.
It is.
If my memory serves me correctly. The 8 performances that are coming up, October through May. Historically, you've had one music director up there doing everything. And again, over the last few years, you've kind of deviated from that. You've brought in multiple people. Will that continue? And the reason I ask that question is I find that fantastic because you're able to tap globally known talent to come to Springfield, Mass.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some of the actual world's best conductors on our stage at Springfield Symphony Hall. It is continuing this season, and we're really looking forward to it. Our artistic advisor, Mayan Chen, will be back with us for 2 concerts. We're so happy to have her here. Courtney Lewis, who actually performed with us last season, is coming back in April. We have the Mambo Kings coming. They're not conducting, but they are coming back in November. They'll be with Herb Smith. But what we've lined up for this season is exactly what you just said. It's a way for us to lean into different personalities, different personas, and different energies up on the stage. We will be working our way towards having a more standard music director as we're continuing to go forward, and a lot more on that to come. We're working with the musicians very closely on that. But no matter what we do, we're going to keep introducing audiences to new conductors, new music, and keep up with the old traditions that we've had.
Springfield is not unique. Springfield Symphony Orchestra is not unique in that its base audience is aging.
Yeah.
Orchestras around the globe are facing the same thing. Mm-hmm. So is this season, and in your head, as you look down the road to the next few seasons, sort of that critical moment where, you have your older audience who sort of, set in their traditional ways, but you need to bring in the younger audience to stay relevant. Are these like transitional, like building years?
For sure. I think it's even more than transitional. I think we're truly at a point right now where we as a community, as a city, as Western Massachusetts, can show up to show how important it is to have live music in our city and the benefit that brings to everybody, bringing people into restaurants downtown, all of that. What I would like to say and encourage is that while, yes, every symphony across the country, not even just here, is facing this, is that we have a very easy way to change it, and it's come to a concert.
Right.
Since I have been lucky enough to move into this role. I have been so welcomed by so many people, and I'm so grateful. And there's a constant ask of, well, what can I do to help? And what can I do to help? And my answer is simple. Come to a concert.
Come to a show.
Come to a concert. I don't need much from
and go
you.
out to eat before or after. Support everything in and around downtown.
Absolutely. Springfield is epic. We are there's, I think, around cities our size, about 70 professional orchestras in this country. And cities the same size as Springfield. That's insane.
Yeah.
It means we have something really unique and really incredible. So I would love to have this stay around forever. And we've been really trying to change what it'll be like. You don't have to wear a tux and a gown to Symphony Hall.
That's
if you want to wear a tux and a gown to Symphony Hall, please do.
But
come
in
and
enjoy
your night out. Yeah. If you want to wear your sweatpants, sure.
Right.
But it really...
No sweatpants at Symphony Hall.
I know.
So, I'm sorry.
I shouldn't have said that. I know. Delete that. It's a place where we just want people to come and to be and to experience music. Have some cheese with us before a concert, or go out after to Nadim's and get some falafel. Or, hey, maybe you can hit a Thunderbirds game up after the concert. We have incredible moments of opportunity in Springfield, and our goal is to find a way to attach to as many of them as possible so people continue to see how incredible our area is.
We are up on our second break. When we come back, part of our last discussion will be the lineup for this year and what you can expect at beautiful Symphony Hall in downtown Springfield. We'll be right back.
This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry. This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.
Welcome back, everyone, to this edition of In Focus. I am your host, Patrick Berry, and I'm glad to be joined in the 22 News Plus studio by the newest president and CEO of the Springfield Symphony Orchestra, Heather Caisse-Roberts. Heather, thank you again for joining me.
My pleasure.
Appreciate your time. I know you're crazed because this is a new role for you, and you're trying to do a lot of different things.
We are, and we're, a month out? Less than a month out from opening night?
Absolutely.
We're like weeks out from opening night, actually.
And we talked about opening night earlier in this conversation, and it's one of those things where you kind of this is the launch of the new season of transition, and so the first night is a night in Italy where you're featuring Italian what would you call them? Writers? No.
Composers.
Composers. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. But it's not just the music. There's an event beforehand.
Yeah.
Too.
We're really trying to lean into the ambiance of every programming that we have going forward this year. So A Night in Italy is featuring all Italian composers, but also the Godfather Suite, things that people are actually really familiar with, along with a local partnership that we've been able to work on with the Italian Cultural Center of Springfield.
Nice.
And they have come in and really put together this incredible pre-concert event with Frigo's and La Fiorentina.
Okay.
I have a wine and cheese tasting. There'll be cannolis up there. There's limited seating. There's only 100 tickets available for that event, pre-event before, but it's really allowing us to showcase other ways that we're engaging with our community before we go in and listen to this beautiful music. And then one of our standing traditions is a champagne toast at the end of the opening night concert. So that will take place in the Mahogany Room along with a meet and greet with Mayenne after our October 11th show.
Fantastic. I noticed coming up, you've got the Mambo Kings who were here a couple of years ago.
Yes.
They're back.
Some of my favorites ever. And Camille Zamora, she's an incredible soprano singer. They are just full of life and energy and pizzazz. And if any of you watching were lucky enough to see them 2 years ago, you'll know that this is a show that can't be missed. People were literally up in the aisles dancing and singing, and it's a really special group.
And I mentioned it earlier, you're still doing the Holiday Pops.
Holiday Pops, that's
December.
Not going anywhere. We've got that. We've got some really incredible original music also that we're having put together just for this performance by our guest soloist. So that'll be a fun surprise for everyone.
And then Motown.
Songs people know. I know, right? Another one, Get Up, bring your friends, bring your family. It's going to be a dance in the aisles.
I was going to say, is there going to be dancing?
It absolutely is. And I think that's one of the things we're trying to break out of the box a little bit is there are very traditional symphonic etiquettes that people have. And I was listening to someone speak and they say, if you look at your audience and they're clapping when they're not supposed to be and they are standing in the aisles dancing, you know you're doing something right because you're expanding out from where you were.
Right.
And so that's what we're hoping some of these concerts do.
All right. What's Valentine's Day? Valentine's
Day is actually a media-focused concert. We are going to have these incredible visual presentations of the planet Earth that have been put together exactly along with this piece of music that will be conducted by Johann de Mege. It will be a world premiere of the trombone concerto played by Joseph Alessi. So it's a really exciting day. It's also Valentine's Day. So hot date. Let's go.
And then in March, you've got Mei Chen returning.
She is.
Or what type of performance is that?
So this performance is a very standard classical show. It has these beautiful pieces with Gershwin and Mendelssohn. It's also the night that we are honoring our 4th annual Springfield Symphony Orchestra's Fearless Women Awards.
Oh, okay.
Something we started years ago to bring light to the women that don't always get it in this community. They're not the ones on the TV shows or out loud and proud.
Women you pass every single day who are doing great work.
Doing really great work and making really big differences. So we're beyond honored to be continuing that tradition.
And then April,
we've got some Vivaldi, some Gershwin. Our conductor is Kedrick Armstrong. He's an incredible young conductor that's going to be coming in and I think is going to make a real impression here in Springfield.
Is that the performance that features 2 of the local,
our own
musicians,
our own musicians.
But you're featuring, they're kind of coming out from behind the crowd to take center stage.
So you'll notice that the past few seasons, a lot of our soloists have been people we've brought in. Our soloists for this concert, Emily and Aaron, are playing the cello as the soloists with Mayan as the conductor for this April.
I like that idea because you've got, what do you got, 60, 75
so typically,
musicians on stage?
Anywhere from like 65. Our first concert, I think we have 82 musicians.
Holy
smokes. It's a lot of people.
Yeah, it is. I'd like to say it's like herding cats, but they're professionals. You know, they and that's the thing that's always amazed me about going to see an event like this where there are so many musicians.
Mm-hmm.
They're so
on it. It's crazy.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because most people sit there and watch the conductor. I'll watch the tuba player. I'll watch the guy playing the xylophone.
Watch the strings instruments. I learned so much about bowing this week. I did not realize that they all have to have their arms up and back down at the exact same time so that everything is going completely in sync with each other. It's like just the
80
thought
musicians
of that.
in perfect sync.
Perfect sync.
All right. So that's April. How are you wrapping up the season?
Wrapping up the season in May with a fan favorite conductor, Courtney Lewis, who will be coming up from Florida to join us. He joined us last season as well. We also have a violin soloist that will be coming. His name is Charles Yang. It's Brahms. It's a little bit more of a
traditional,
leaning in towards our traditional, taking the concert and sort of wrapping up the season with We Are the Springfield Symphony, and here it is.
So here we are. We're in the fall of 2025. The 25-26 season is done. It's behind us. It's booked.
Yep.
Everything's set. When do you start planning the 26-27 season, or have you already?
We have already.
Really?
Yes, we have. So the past few years, there's been a lot of catch up, moving parts.
Right.
We're all learning so much as we go. We have a better handle on that right now. We started our programming committee meetings about 3 weeks ago, and we have already started talking about our concert dates, who will our soloists be. Our opening night concert in October of 2026 will be October 24th, and it will be also featuring a beautiful piece that will be in honor of Ron Weiss, who was a longtime board member that his actual college Dartmouth class is donating in his honor. So it's going to be really special.
Fantastic.
And we have lots of other things. We're talking about movie nights. We're talking about having our youth orchestra more involved.
Deal for you spitball it, see what happens.
Yep. We're sticking whatever we can to the wall right now, and hoping that everyone that's listening and hearing will come and realize how incredible it is to be there.
Fantastic. I want to thank you so very much for joining me today. A great look forward to the Springfield Symphony Orchestra for this coming season and what the future holds. Congratulations on the new role.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll have you back in the hot seat later.
I can't wait.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This is 22 News in Focus with Patrick Berry.